So we have finally set sail in the Grand Line, and it is immediately apparent that this place is a lot more dangerous than anywhere we've seen before in the East Blue. Just while Luffy's crew is trying to navigate to the first island, there's about 5 changes in weather. You know, it starts snowing, and then the thunder comes down, and then the winds are blowing, and then it's sunny all of a sudden. Their boat gets turned around without their knowledge. Like, the seas are so treacherous and unpredictable. I don't know how they're supposed to get from place to place. Obviously, they have this log pose, but even with that, it seems really hard to sort of figure out where you're supposed to go without capsizing, pretty much. They nearly capsized within the first, between to just get into the first island. Do you know what I mean? Sounded like I was beatboxing for a second. But anyway, when they got to the first island, it is called Whiskey Peak. And this is where this Miss Monday and Mr. Nine apparently live. And it's very odd when we get there, because as soon as Luffy's crew arrive, there are people looking at them, and they get there and people are celebrating, and they're like welcoming the pirates. We've never seen this before. Every single island we've been to, as soon as a pirate arrives, everyone's sort of freaking out. Nobody's very happy to see them, essentially, besides maybe Logtown. They weren't too concerned about pirates, besides the Navy. But, as soon as they got to this island, they're all welcomed. They had a big party. They were introduced to the mayor, Igor Roppi, I think he introduced himself as, and they're known apparently as a town of liquor and music, which, I mean, Whiskey Peak makes sense for a name, I suppose. But as Luffy and his crew are drinking and partying all through the night, things start to turn a little bit sinister. You can tell the tone is a little bit off, especially with this Igor Roppi character. It's pretty apparent that this place is not at all what it seems to be, and that gets confirmed pretty quickly. We see Miss Wednesday and Number 9 writing back to their boss it's called the Baroque Works, is who they work for. And essentially they call it Cactus Island, which obviously is very different from Whiskey Peak. So they've lied immediately to Luffy and his crew. We probably should have assumed that, do you know what I mean? But Luffy just decided, like he said, don't worry about the small things. And they've ended up being trapped in this Cactus Island by a bunch of bounty hunters. I mean, the name Cactus Island makes a lot of sense. There are literally giant cacti everywhere, and it's a bit of a crazy visual. When it zooms into these cacti, they don't have spikes. They have the grave of previous pirates that have been basically lured in by this island full of bounty hunters. And that's what this Cactus Island is. It's full of bounty hunters waiting to prey on pirates that are looking to sort of chill after they finally get to the Grand Line, maybe celebrate a little bit. They wait for them to get there. They party with them. They make them drunk and tire them out and then kill them. And it's pretty brutal and pretty scary when you think about it. I think that's going to be a lot of stuff on the Grand Line. You just can't trust what you see. This place is completely different to anything in the East Blue. Like, I don't feel like we know anything about anything right now, which is very exciting because there's so many possibilities to where this could all go. However, Zoro never let his guard down. He's actually awake and he hears everybody talking about Cactus Island and what exactly is going on. He hears everything. He was even once recruited for the Baroque Works, but he refused to work for them for whatever reason. But regardless, it seems they're all comprised of these people with code names like, we have Mr. Wednesday. The mayor was revealed to be Mr. 8, I think his name was. We got Mr. 9, Miss Wednesday. I don't know what delineates who's a weekday and who's a number. Maybe it's just a gender thing. But then there would only be 7 women and possibly loads of men. I don't really know, but they go by code names. They don't know each other's real names, and none of them even know who the boss of Baroque Works is. Which begs the question: why would they work for someone who they don't even know? Are they doing it by choice? If that makes sense, are they being ruled under like an iron fist, like they have to work for this person, even if they don't know their identity? Like, there's something interesting going on there. Like I said, nothing in One Piece is done for no reason. There's a reason that the boss is a secret and nobody knows who he is or she is. And how many of these people in the Baroque Works are there? Are there thousands? Are there hundreds? Are there just the people on this island? Like, I don't know, but I bet, it's interesting. It's a new mystery to be discovered or solved. Either way, I'm very excited to see where this mystery goes and learn more about how the Baroque Works functions. And a bit of a side note, I thought there was a really cool visual in this episode where Zoro stood in front of the moon, and it reminded me a lot of Itachi. You know, that pose where he's on the lamppost in front of the moon, that infamous thing. I thought that was, I don't know, it just reminded me of it, and I thought it was cool. But regardless, now we have Zoro versus the entirety of this island while the rest of the crew is asleep. Can he handle it? Probably. Zoro's an absolute badass, but we'll have to see. But yeah, that was this episode. First island in the Grand Line, and it's already gone tits up, so brilliant. Let's see what happens.